Dedicated to the one I love. Well, we often hear complaints about how the younger generation play video games far too much. Oh, tell me about it. I've been roped into Clash of Clans, Minecraft. What else are we doing at home? Oh, yeah, Plants vs. Zombies. And that's now making up part of the discipline at home. If you don't do this, you will not be allowed access to your iPad or your Xbox, William. That's my 7-year-old. But what if the children or grown-ups responsible were raising money for charity whilst playing these games? Well, Guernsey Gaming For Good has been set up by a group of local video gamers. Or should I call them self-professed nerds? It says it here. I'm sure they won't mind. And 2 of its members will be in the studio. And 3 of its members. I can learn to count, woman, will you? They'll be with me after this from Boy George. Boy George and Nice and Slow. That's how I like my games, really, because I really can't get to grips with my son's iPad or his Xbox 360, much as he'd like me to get to become au fait with it. But what about raising money for charity and doing it through something you love? Well, for many people, my son included, gaming is a much-loved pastime these days, be that on computers, PlayStation, Xboxes, or whether you're having a Wii. Right, well, Ali Huntley, James Ogier and Lee Burton are self-professed nerds. Can I call you that? Isn't that a bit rude?
Of course you can.
You can, okay.
That's fine. No problem
I'd never mind calling you rude names. I'd better give you a microphone, Ali. Hold on a minute. No, let's give you the yellow one there, look. Now we can hear you. Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Good morning. Now, why gaming for charity? Is this just a cunning plan of yours, just to get even more gaming done in your life?
You could say that, I suppose.
It's something that we're all very interested in, and everyone has their hobbies and activities that they do outside of their work, and we thought, well, we play games pretty much every day, most of us. In fact, no, we all do, don't we? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
And we've always wanted to hold events in Guernsey, things like tournaments, playing sessions where people can just play with each other and have a really good time. And we thought, well, why not, let's do it for charity. You know?
So are you doing this in the comfort of your own bedrooms, or are you actually meeting in person?
We are. You are?
How does that work?
A lot of it will be from home, using YouTube and live streaming, so people can watch live or just jump on the YouTube channels. But also...
What, of you in your gym down?
Yeah, I try and keep that covered as much as possible. No, we have a location called the Games Lounge, which is a store that's set up quite recently. He's relocated to...
Top of Mill Street.
Yep,
Top of Mill Street. And it's basically you could call it a video gaming bar, I suppose, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Where he has consoles set up for people to just jump in and play, try out a few games, and you can buy them there as well.
You could set up a child-minding facility.
Oh, well, that's the other thing we plan to do at some point.
There's a money earner. I'll only charge you 10% for the ideas.
It'll all go to charity, don't worry.
Yeah, we could just pop all our children down and they could game and be supervised while we swan off to the beach for a cheese and wine party. That sounds good, girls, doesn't it? And house husbands listening. So how's it all going to work, then? James Ogier, tell me.
Well, basically, it's going to be... We've got it set up so anybody can just come in and join in. So it's going to be from 6 o'clock on Friday the 25th of July.
So there's just one day in mind, 25th?
Yeah, but it's going to be...
Friday?
Yeah, it's going to be a 24-hour session. So we actually start at 6 o'clock and we go all the way through to the next 6 o'clock.
Oh, damn. 7-year-olds out by 10, then?
Well, yeah, absolutely. That'll be a kick out time.
So an all-nighter. Oh, such larks, Pip. People are going to love that.
Yeah.
I'll have to send Ollie down, because he's a great World of Warcraft gamer.
I know,
okay.
yeah.
You know Ollie,
I do indeed, yeah.
Well, he was till he met his girlfriend. I don't know whether he plays so much now, but I'm sure it does it.
Well, yeah, unfortunately. No, I'm joking. They're lovely.
Why would you let women into your life when you can just be with a bunch of mates and game?
It's all about balancing the time.
Yeah.
I'll come to you. As a parent, I need to talk to you about balance.
Oh, no.
In a little while. Lee Burton.
Yes.
What sort of games are you playing?
The main games we're focusing on for the first event is going to be Titanfall, Battlefield 4, Minecraft, and James can do a 24-hour session on a game called Dark Souls 2.
What?
Dark Souls 2.
Dark Horse?
Dark Souls.
Dark Souls 2. Be careful how you say that. Minecraft.
Absolutely.
Now, some people listening... Well, my mother wouldn't have heard of Minecraft before she had a grandson, but some people listening now will know exactly what I mean by Minecraft, and others won't. How do we describe Minecraft to someone who doesn't know what it is?
Computerised Lego.
Exactly. People have built the whole of Denmark recently. It is to me the most claustrophobic entity known to man, and I cannot understand why small children and grown men would like to blow up little piggies and things like that. Especially not with the hydrogen bomb that we used yesterday. Have you seen the damage that one of those can bring about?
We have,
Yes.
yeah.
Not something you want to do.
We've dabbled in horrible things like that on Minecraft.
Really?
Yeah.
And what's the other horrible thing that comes in Minecraft?
Just nuclear reactors and creepers.
Creepers,
really.
that's it, the creepers. I've known a few creepers in my time, actually. So Minecraft, you can imagine the virtual equivalent of Lego. And the fascinating thing was, I was talking to an architect who said that things like Meccano and Lego have an example, or a legacy. They've left a legacy.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm just wondering what the legacy of Minecraft is going to be. Are we going to have lots of radical separatist groups blowing up pigs in the future?
Quite possibly.
Or do you think it really teaches children about looking after the planet? And is there that in it, do you think?
It's an element of recycling to it, isn't there?
Yeah.
You're picking up a block and you're placing it somewhere else. It's not so much destruction. It's more about reforming the landscape how you want it to look.
Yeah.
Which I think is fantastic.
I mean, if I'd had that when I was a child, it is
I know.
incredible. You can create whole landscapes that you can then walk around virtually. If you haven't seen it, the mind boggles. I can barely describe it. It's just so amazing. So those are the games you're going to be doing. And which charities are you going to be raising money for?
James.
We're going to be doing it for 4 charities. Now we've sort of said we could do it for a lot, but we thought just keep it at 4 for now, especially as it's the first event. But there's definitely, we might end up in the future getting some more charities on board. But we hope, yeah. But the 4 charities we picked at the moment are Guernsey Mind, the Guernsey Alzheimer's Association, the Bourke's Hospice, and Help Against Child.
Wow, what lovely charities.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much for telling us all about this. How do we get involved?
You can go on the website, which is
www.guernseygamingforgood.co.uk.
Guernsey Gaming For Good. We're, you know.
All one word, .co.uk.
Age does stale my infinite variety. So Guernsey Gaming For Good. .co.uk.
Yep.
.co.uk. Okay, I'm just writing it down. If you want more information, I can give it to the listeners afterwards. Friday the 25th, starting at what time and where?
6 o'clock at the Games Lounge.
The Games Lounge, 2 Mill Street, Law.
That's the one.
Okay, the Games Lounge. Right, more from my guests, Mr. Ali Huntley, Mr. James Ogier and Mr. Lee Burton, in just a few minutes.
Jenny Kendall-Tobias.
Clout and substitute. Well, if you've got gaming in your life, maybe you haven't got time for any substitutes or anything else. I'm in the studio with Ali Huntley, James Ogier and Lee Burton, who are gaming for charity on Friday the 25th from 6 o'clock at the Games Lounge in Mill Street, and it's a 24-hour game session in aid of 4 local charities, and they want you to join them Friday the 25th from 6 o'clock at the Games Lounge. For more information, you can log on to guernseygamingforgood.co.uk. Just before we say farewell, gentlemen, can you help parents and grandparents everywhere with this iPad, Xbox business? We've got to get balance in our lives. You've grown up reasonably well. You look fairly normal-ish.
Thank you.
Give or take. Can you teach us parents and grandparents, and I know you've got young relatives, how do we bring balance into their life? Please, Ali Huntley.
So, I touched on censorship before. A lot of these games and titles have content warnings that are made by the developers to try and make it sure it goes throughout the audience. And I think it's all about the parents. If they're buying this game for their child, they need to make sure that they're following those content warnings. So you've got PG, 12, 15, and you'll have a category as well saying, this contains violence, scenes of gore, whatever,
And a lot of children watch the tutorials on YouTube.
They do.
They look up their favourite game and then they find other grown-ups. A lot of these are absolutely brilliant, and I know the BBC News has featured Stampy Longnose, one such exponent of such tutorials. God, I'm so knowledgeable.
You're very well. I'm impressed.
Aren't I? But it's also about checking what tutorials they're watching and things like that, isn't it?
It's all about maybe doing a bit of background research before you allow your child to play that specific game or look into that game.
And limit the amount of time that they spend, do you think? Or?
I don't think so, no. I think you have to, like I said before, we have to balance it out. But you need to allow them time to, have fun, but not let it get in the way of other things that you have to do in life. For example, with us, it's work, whereas children, it would be school. Schoolwork's very important, but they need to have that time to themselves and, enjoy they're doing things they like with their friends as well.
And I have heard, I've read somewhere, in fact it was Sue Correndon who pointed it out to me, that she'd read this article, and I read it too, that gaming, whilst lots of parents, particularly grandparents, might be quite down on it, thinking it's a bad thing, it can actually teach children multilinear skills or multilinear learning. Is that right?
Of course.
The ability to do lots of things and think in different ways at the same time.
Yeah.
With a lot of games, you've got multiple things going on at the same time, so you're not just focused on one single point. You sometimes have things going on your left, your right, so your spatial awareness just becomes heightened almost.
So does that mean that since the advent of gaming and this digital age in which we live, that men are now able to multitask?
I think we are. I think we've always been able to. It's just that this is, it's given us the power to do it even more effectively.
Yeah,
I think.
Exactly.
Which is your favourite game? Let's go around the room. What do you like the most?
Mine would probably, honestly, mine is probably Minecraft, because I'm very creative, and I've made some very strange things on there, but I've also made some quite impressive things as well.
I was joking about the creche before, but actually I'm now half serious. What about another fundraiser where you allow people like my son to come to you for a lesson, and we all pay for it and you donate the proceeds to charity? Because I think for children in Guernsey to talk to a grown-up expert about that, no, it'd be wonderful.
I would love it.
Half-hour tutorials, you book children in,
Yep.
and we go off to do half an hour shopping, come back and everyone's happy. Would you be up for that?
I would love that.
Wonderful. Oh, it's been
Absolutely.
lovely meeting you, and I'm really glad that Faye hasn't noticed that we haven't played the second-hand song before the news. So we'll have that afterwards, but I had too much to talk to them about, Faye. Ali Huntley and James Ogier and Lee Burton, will you come back and see us again, please? Maybe to do a special gaming slot?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Well.
certainly.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank
We
you.
have to find something
Thanks a
for
lot.
the
Thank you.
girls. We didn't mention Candy Crush Saga at all,
We
did
didn't.
we?
No, we'd leave that one out. That's not one of our. Yeah, we'll stay away from that one.
It's obviously far too girly, isn't it? Try telling that to Dominic Wheatley. The news is next.